Hey, so things are a little bit out of order this week because we took a day in the middle of the entire week to fulfill a ton of Patreon rewards, so those all got shipped out. So don't worry, Weekly Weird News, it's happening. It's just happening after News Dump this week, and also because Red Dead's coming out and we want to play it.
It's the old internet today, switcheroo.
Switcheroo.
So
now,
let's take a news dump.
If Rick and Morty wasn't on the nose enough for you as a clear homage to some of the great sci-fi shows and movies that came before it, obviously, most notably Back to the Future, well then we have good news for you.
Good news?
Because the head writer of Rick and Morty, Mike McMahon, has just signed a deal with CBS to create his own official, adult-oriented Star Trek animated series, adding yet another show to CBS's Star Trek universe, which already includes Discovery and another recently announced series that essentially was pitched as a continuation of Jean-Luc Picard's storyline from Next Generation, with Sir Patrick Stewart actually reprising his role. So, cool?
This is gonna be like Star Wars all over again. It's like, man, it's been like a decade since we had some Star Wars. It's like, well, here's all the Star Wars.
Yeah, people are gonna be like,
wait,
enough Star Trek, please.
Whoa. Anyway, this show, coming from the head writer of Rick and Morty, who's also successfully run a Star Trek parody Twitter account on the side for a few years, will be called Star Trek Lower Decks. And according to reports, it will focus on the support crew serving on one of Starfleet's least important ships. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of red shirts getting killed in creative, fun ways.
Yeah, I wonder how much they're going to actually let, especially when it's adult-oriented, how much fun they're gonna let people have with this show versus how much screwing up the universe they can do.
I don't know.
I mean, the writer is notably a huge fan of Star Trek, so...
Well, based on how notoriously litigious they've been about fan films, they recently, some guy painstakingly built like a VR version of the Starship Enterprise, and they were like, shut it down.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Yeah. Anyway, the network has officially signed on to this for at least 2 seasons. For this animated series. And in a statement, executive producer Alex Kurtzman, who also recently signed a 5-year deal to handle every nook and cranny of CBS's Star Trek universe, had this to say.
Mike won our hearts with his first sentence. I want to do a show about the people who put the yellow cartridge in the food replicator so a banana can come out the other end. His cat's name is Riker. His son's name is Sagan. The man is committed.
Whoa.
He's brilliantly funny and knows every inch of every Trek episode, and that's his secret sauce. He writes with the pure, joyful heart of a true fan. As we broaden the world of Trek to fans of all ages, we're so excited to include Mike's extraordinary voice. And apparently by all ages, they mean adults. And by secret sauce,
Come.
no, Szechuan sauce.
Oh, that.
Oh, no.
Oh, wait. Would you look at the time on my invisible Vincero watch? I guess we should probably talk about MoviePass, as mandated by you, the viewers, who for whatever reason eagerly await our retelling of the past week's news regarding this floundering company. Now, apparently, MoviePass's parent company, Helios and Matheson Analytics, are tired of having their good name dragged through the dirt every single time anyone brings up MoviePass, since all the inevitable bad news about the company started rolling in over the summer, when we assume the company was having a bit of trouble figuring out a way to make it seem like they weren't just hemorrhaging money every second of the day. I may be wearing a barrel for clothing, but things are fine down here at MoviePass.
It's fine, don't worry about it.
And look, we completely understand why Helios and Matheson Analytics would want to distance themselves from MoviePass, but also, they're the same company that for whatever reason thought that acquiring MoviePass was a great financial decision in the first place.
So, I mean, the criticism is valid. But earlier this week, Helios and Matheson announced their preliminary plan to spin the company off, and in their statement, said that their company had, quote, largely become synonymous with MoviePass in the public's eye, leading them to believe that their shareholders and market perception of Helios and Matheson might benefit from separating their movie-related assets from the rest of the company. Which, yeah, but as you can clearly tell, the damage to their overall brand is pretty much already done, and you could safely assume it would take a very long time for them to fully shake off the stigma, even if, for some reason, MoviePass somehow rebounds and becomes a big success. They will forever be synonymous with MoviePass.
Yeah, I think they're only look, I don't have a master's in business administration, nor am I well-versed on corporate tax law, but this seems like a way of taking a bunch of serious debt and
Siloing it off?
Yeah, just building a big old concrete dome around it and being like, well, that's, as you can see, MoviePass
Clearly
is
it's a
over
different
there.
company.
Yeah. I may be wrong, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, the new holding company would be called MoviePass Entertainment Holdings, which would consist of MoviePass, MoviePhone. Why don't you just tell me the number that you want to see? MoviePass Films, which brought us all the hit summer, Gotti. They made Gotti.
They made Gotti, yeah. It was the biggest, the biggest movie of the year. You remember it, right?
And they're currently at work churning out all the latest from Bruce Willis and a couple other actors who have seemingly stopped giving a shit. And this all comes on the heels of the story that we reported on last week regarding the New York Attorney General's fraud investigation into Helios and Matheson, where the claim is that the company may have intentionally misled investors.
Whoops.
It's a profitable company. Lies. We have a great business plan. Lies, fraud. There's definitely gonna be a lot of worst of 2018 contenders for our end of the year video. That's
gonna be quite a task.
Daunting task. But you can certainly put money on this whole MoviePass saga being a major player in our end of the year Everything Sucks roundup, because it's been one hell of a train wreck to watch unfold live before our very eyes.
Very slow train wreck that just barrels through. So, anyways, with that out of the way, we can finally talk about the Larry the Cable Guy conspiracy that is currently unfolding online.
I'm glad we were able to get her done the other news so we can get to this done.
Now, okay, it's not a real conspiracy. In my head, it's a conspiracy, but
My head canon?
yeah, now it's just completely fucking odd, and it relates pretty directly to the attempted domestic terrorist attack this past week, where pipe bombs were mailed out to prominent members of the Democratic Party. As I'm sure you're already well aware, these things started getting intercepted by law enforcement and the Secret Service before any damage could be done or they could actually reach their intended targets. But during the whole ordeal, which so far hit peak coverage on Wednesday of this past week, Larry the Cable Guy fired up Twitter.com to unleash one hell of a joke.
Yeah, at 3:25 p.m. on Wednesday, he tweeted, "Breaking. One of the bombs sent out today was discovered to be the movie Coach Carter. Get her done." Now, okay, first of all, a lot of questions right out of the gate, mainly concerning his high-level, now public hatred of the movie Coach Carter, a 2005 drama about a basketball coach who pulls his undefeated high school team off the court because they're slipping academically. What makes this tweet even weirder is the fact that 2 hours after he decided to tweet out a joke about the attempted pipe bomb attacks against two former presidents, other members of a political party, and a news organization, it was reported that a sticker on one of the pipe bombs had his trademark "Get Her Done" slogan included as part of a parody version of the ISIS flag.
Coincidence?
At FBI.
Have you seen Larry the Cable Guy's Twitter account? First of all, he'll respond to anybody.
He does. Yeah, when we were in San Antonio for PAX South, he has a brand of potato chips. People in the South know. We can't get them here. I saw him at the bodega and I was just charmed by them, so I took a picture of him. I was like, huh. Someone in my comments, I didn't even use the name Larry Cable Guy. Someone in my comments, I think, mentioned it once, making fun of it. And in swoops Larry the Cable Guy to like defend his chip brand. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And then you had another experience.
So William Bibiani just said something randomly about Larry the Cable Guy, and he's obviously searching his name on Twitter.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's prolific on Twitter. He's churned out at least 15 jokes since the pipe bomb joke.
Yeah.
But so I was like, how is he just responding to everyone? So I tweeted at him and I was like, Larry the Cable Guy, I basically asked about the rise and fall of the cable industry, where everyone's cutting the cord, and is there a decline? And he literally screen capped a picture of the amount of use that cable TV gets over the past 10 years, and then said, "Here, take this. I don't care. I smoke a big cigar." And that
I remember that.
Yeah. But so if you want to talk to Larry the Cable Guy directly, you can just tweet at him.
Yeah, he's on there. I think Larry the Cable Guy might be a bot though.
Well, he's definitely not a.
He might be working for ISIS.
He's definitely not a cable guy,
No.
and he's not a man who sounds like he's from the South. He has a normal speaking voice.
He's from Florida, right?
Yeah, but still, he talks normal. He doesn't. It's
It's an act.
So okay, whatever. Back to the Coach Carter joke. Way more important than his slogan being on a pipe bomb. We get not being a fan of films, especially for someone who clearly has a proclivity towards comedic affairs.
Yeah, he was in, what was that Iraq war comedy that Larry the Cable Guy was in? It had a very clever title. I don't remember.
Truly an unforgettable film.
Unforgettable. Never forget.
But listen, why did Larry the Cable Guy specifically choose the film Coach Carter? Coach Carter, it might not have the best rating on Rotten Tomatoes, but it was hardly a bomb for the studio that produced it, considering it was the top-grossing film during the weekend that it was released. It even beat out Meet the Fockers for its box office pull that weekend. It's just such an oddly specific joke from a man who, let's be honest, isn't exactly box office gold himself, and who also had his most famous catchphrase literally attached to at least one of the explosive devices.
Yeah, but hey, you know who could get to the bottom of this whole mystery better than either of us, though? Obviously, Detective Pikachu.
Here he comes. Whatever noise that thing makes is here in the background.
But up until this point, we were blissfully unaware of this specific Pokemon's passion for crime solving. Now, with the release of the official Detective Pikachu movie just over 6 months away, wow, we're finally getting some details as to just what the hell this movie will be about. By the way, I feel like we should mention this again. Detective Pikachu is a live-action movie that stars Ryan Reynolds in the lead role as Pikachu.
Does Pikachu squeak? No, it just says like Pika. It just goes Pika.
Whatever. Okay, we're about as familiar with this property as we are with the site who has the exclusive to this story, superbromovies.com. So maybe take this with a big pinch of salt, and you're gonna get some plastic in there. But here's all the details about the movie that they reported on.
The story begins when ace private eye Harry Goodman goes mysteriously missing, prompting his 21-year-old son Tim to find out what happened. Aiding in the investigation is Harry's former Pokemon partner, Detective Pikachu, a hilariously wisecracking, adorable super sleuth who is a puzzlement even to himself.
So he cracks wise. It sounds like he can talk.
Okay. Or maybe it's like,
Pikachu! Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
it's like in movies and stuff where in Peanuts where you can't understand the teachers, but like the kids do. So maybe everyone around Pikachu understands exactly what Pikachu's saying, but the audience, it's like a mystery and you have to decipher it.
Like R2-D2 or Chewbacca.
Yeah, there we go. Now, the synopsis does
I
continue.
was Detective Chewbacca. I'd watch the shit out of that.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Star Wars.
Yeah, that's a good one. He can go across the entire galaxy solving mysteries.
Solves crimes and he rips their arms off. You're guilty. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, the synopsis, it continues. Finding that they are uniquely equipped to communicate with one another, there you go.
Okay.
Tim and Pikachu become reluctant partners on a thrilling adventure to unravel the tangled mystery. Chasing clues together through the neon-lit streets of Rhyme City, a sprawling modern metropolis where humans and Pokemon live in partnership in a hyper-realistic live-action world.
Oh, so it's bright.
So far, I can't see how you'd be wrong by saying that. Anyways, in that world, they encounter a diverse cast of Pokemon characters and uncover a shocking plot that could destroy this peaceful coexistence and threaten the entire Pokemon universe.
So it's Zootopia.
It sounds like a lot of movies, Elliot.
I'm sure at least some of you watching this show will be very excited by that synopsis and very angry at us for not knowing about your precious Detective Pikachu.
Sorry, we were a little too old when Pokemon was a really big thing.
When I watched a few minutes of Pokemon, they were just making them fight like slaves.
Yeah.
Apparently now they're solving crimes. I don't know.
That's good. That's progress.
Yeah. I mean, it was just,
Finally, we're letting Pokemon acclimate to the community.
At least we've risen above like promoting cockfighting to children. Anyway, if that sounds good to you, well, good for you.
Yeah.
Movies are fun, and while you don't have to wait too long to see whatever Detective Pikachu turns out to be, since it has a release date of May 10th, 2019, you will have to wait quite a bit longer for a movie that was, up until this week, one of our most anticipated movies of 2019. Wonder Woman 1984 has officially been pushed back all the way to 2020, with Wonder Woman herself, Gal Gadot, breaking the news on Twitter this week saying, "Super excited to announce that thanks to the changing landscape, we are able to put Wonder Woman back to its rightful home, June 5th, 2020. Be there or be square." That's an interesting way of framing a gigantic, 9-month delay.
Yeah.
But okay, Gal.
Yeah, can you spin this into a positive? Sure. Wonder Woman 1984's previous release date in November of 2019 is now being replaced with a reboot of Charlie's Angels, starring Kristen Stewart, Naomi Scott, and Ella Balinska. And also a direct sequel to Terminator 2 Judgment Day that's being helmed by James Cameron and Tim Miller of Deadpool.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, a lot of options there.
Yeah.
Also, it clears the path for another very confusing live-action video game adaptation, the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, which, as you'll remember, stars Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik. 2019, so far, looking like it'll be a very strange year for movies.
It's a reflection of our times.
Sure.
It's the same thing, like in the late 60s, early 70s, the movies were all fucking bonkers.
Yeah. I think it's fun. Give me all the bonkers movies you can.
Yeah. Anyway, the real reasons that Wonder Woman 1984 is being shifted, in our opinion, are two main things. One is that WB, aka AT&T, has a ton of faith in this sequel, and it makes complete sense for them to move it directly over to the summer blockbuster season.
Yes.
To square up with the big boys. The other is that, barring any delays, the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie is currently scheduled to hit theaters on October 4th of next year. So maybe they just didn't want two completely different DC movie franchises sort of competing with each other or potentially causing some kind of fatigue with moviegoers.
Yeah.
Either way, it sucks that everyone has to wait an extra couple months to see Wonder Woman 84 because we definitely have high hopes for it. Like,
Yeah.
I liked Wonder Woman.
Well, we still have Shazam next year and Joker next year.
Oh yeah, I thought I was picturing Sinbad.
Yeah.
Wait, no, but that movie doesn't exist. I was picturing Shaq.
Yeah. Kazam.
Sinbad never made a movie as a genie. Mm-hmm. That's just the Berenstain Bears effect.
And Aladdin, another movie about a genie with Will Smith as the genie, comes out next year.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a weird fucking year.
And I can't wait for the raps that the genie does.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
There were some trailers this week. There was a trailer for a new Natalie Portman movie called Vox Lux, a final trailer for Bohemian Rhapsody, which is a movie that is splitting critics and fans apart, a trailer for that movie where Liam Neeson is a snowplow driver that has to kill people, and a trailer for How to Train Your Dragon 3, but we're never doing trailers again because...
apparently we're not.
I'm not a conspiratorially minded person.
We just talked about Larry the Cable Guy plotting a domestic terrorist attack, Ellie. Feel free to speak your mind.
I mean, I've been trying to get to the bottom of this. So there's a company called Zephyr, Z-E-F-R, that the movie studios are paying to basically manage their copyright for their projects on YouTube, including their trailers.
It's like how Jukin Media was a company who bought up the rights to all of the viral videos as they went viral, so you couldn't put those anywhere without getting struck.
So there are basically, if you use any footage from any trailer, the big ones, I think they're mainly working for Universal and Sony.
Warner Brothers, I think we got struck. Well, that might have been directly from Warner Brothers, though.
Whatever. Who knows? Anyway, basically, all of a sudden, starting about 6 weeks ago, any movie trailer we showed, even for like 5 seconds, they would give us a copyright strike, we'd appeal it, they'd be like, no, still a copyright strike, and we're keeping all the money you made from the video.
Also, it was them policing themselves, because in the copyright, when we battled the copyright strike, it would come back and be like, no, the company Zephyr has decided that you are violating their rules.
So there's a third step you can take, but you take a big risk there
of getting your channel
deleted, and really not fucking worth it. Zephyr, you win. If your idea of helping the movie industry is to make fewer people find out about movies through aggressive copyright strikes that create a chilling effect, that's an interesting business plan. Like I said, I don't have an MBA, so maybe I'm dead wrong about this, but in the past, before the internet, movie companies would pay hundreds of thousands of dollars on the marketing campaigns for their movies to get trailers put on TV, radio, in front of other movies. And today we live in a wonderful age where you can find out about movies in so many other ways, and you're trying to stop that for some reasons that I don't quite understand. So we're just not going to do it then.
I guess that's the case now, but I think that I will be fine showing this movie trailer. And it's a movie that I've watched it twice so far.
Uh-oh.
And it just came out on VOD. So I'm suggesting it in lieu of other movie trailers.
Okay.
I'm going to suggest that you go and rent this movie or buy it or whatever you have to do. It's called Heavy Trip. And it's a movie about a Finnish death metal band who really just wants to play a death metal festival in Norway. It is a hilarious comedy movie. It is entirely in Finnish, so turn on the closed captioning or you won't understand what the hell's going on aside from the visuals. But I loved it, so I highly suggest that. Watch Heavy Trip instead of any of the movies that we would normally talk about in here.
Yeah, that'll be our weekly.
Just suggest movies that we might be able to show.
I'm going to risk it on this one.
Yeah. This one's worth risking it for. So watch Heavy Trip, and we'll see you guys very soon for Weekly Weird News. Sorry about the old Internet Today switcheroo this week, but if you're a Patreon supporter at whatever level gets you rewards, keep an eye on your mailbox because we sent out pins, posters, and postcards.
You don't want them getting stolen.
And it took an entire day, so don't make our work
just sit by the door. Sit by the door and wait.
Yeah. All right. Enjoy Red Dead Redemption 2. We'll see you guys next time.
Later, partner.